Hey guys, what is up? It is Dan. Welcome to another episode of Guitar Talk. Roll that intro. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are looking at the awesome EVH Stripe Series Frankie Relic guitar. So straight off the bat, this is a relatively budget version of the iconic guitar that Eddie Van Halen was known for playing in the late 70s all the way through the 80s. It looks absolutely stunning. So let's take a look at the very deceiving specs of this, starting at the body. So it's a Strat style body. Obviously EVH is part of the Fender family of instruments, so they're allowed to use the Strat shape. It's got the classic red, white and black finish, which has been reliced nicely. You've got a tone control, which is actually a volume control, part of a 3-ply scratch plate. You've got an EVH licensed Floyd Rose trem system that's got the EVH D-Tuna on there. We'll go a bit more into that later on. You've got a EVH Wolfgang bridge pickup, which is quite high output but still retains some nice dynamics. You've got a neck pickup, which is actually a dummy neck pickup, so it doesn't actually do anything. And then you've got a switch in here as well, which again doesn't actually do anything. So next specs on this, you've got a maple neck with a maple fretboard, both of which have been really nicely reliced, so it's just ultra smooth feeling. You've got your Floyd Rose bits here, EVH branded tuners on this, Strat style headstock. You've got 22 jumbo frets. It's a 25.5-inch scale, and as well you've got a compound radius fretboard, which is 12 to 16 inch. What that means is the more you go up the fretboard, the more it flattens out. So you've got the nice familiar feeling classic Strat style fretboard down here. And then as you move up, it flattens out so you can get that nice low action and big bends without it choking out anywhere. So in terms of feel, as I mentioned with the relicing on this, it just feels really played in and just instantly comfortable under the hand. It's just this ultra satin feel where everything just feels really nice and smooth. Straight out of the box, this thing just feels absolutely amazing. So this is an absolutely iconic looking guitar, which has been recreated and painstakingly done from the EVH team. The relicing on this thing has been done really, really well, with just a couple of bits where you notice that the wood's been stained to look older, and then a couple of bits where it hasn't been. You know, to me, that's absolutely fine at this price point, compared to some of the replicas that have been made over the years, which have been thousands and thousands of pounds. At the price point this is at, this has been done really, really well. So if memory serves, the reason why this has got the dummy pickup in the neck and the switch randomly in the middle pickup cavity is literally because Eddie just wanted to have some fun and confuse some people as to how he was getting his tone and make people think there was some kind of magic behind it when in fact they do nothing. And I gotta say, it does work, because when we first got this here at the Guitar Talk headquarters, I sent a picture of this to my good friend James, who's also a guitar player, and straight away he said to me, "Oh, the neck pickup looks cool. What's it sound like?" Doesn't do anything. Okay, what's the switch in the middle do? It's a bit of a weird place to put a switch. Doesn't do anything. So, you know, in terms of confusing people, certainly works. So something a little bit more modern. I say modern, but they've been around since the late 90s, early 2000s PV Wolfgangs. You've got the D-Tuna system on this. So what this does is, obviously on a Floyd Rose system, everything's all locked down. So if you've got a song in the middle of the set which is in drop D and you're in standard, you can't just retune your guitar without breaking out Allen keys and undoing these and then doing them back up and all that kind of stuff. All this does is you pull this out, it adjusts the tension, and you are pretty much in drop D. Over the years, I've had these on a few guitars and they seem to work with varying degrees of success. Sometimes they will put your guitar in perfect drop D if you are in perfect standard tuning, and sometimes it gets you pretty much most of the way there. Most of the way there is fine for me, because as long as I can get the rest of the way there with just a few turns of the fine tuner, then that is absolutely fine by me. I do not expect this to put me in perfect drop D every time, although it's nice when it does. The pickup, as I mentioned earlier in this, is a Wolfgang bridge pickup, which is quite a high output, meaty sounding humbucker. There's no coil tap to it, so you know it's straight up humbucker. One of the really cool things about this is that it's just really nice and even sounding, and it just picks harmonics out all over the fretboard with ease. You are more likely, let's face it, going to use this guitar for rock tones, shredding, you know, big overdrive sounds, but it's just a really dynamic, even sounding pickup, so you can get some nice clean tones out of this as well. All you've got to do is watch some old videos of Eddie playing with the same setup, you know, single volume and just a big humbucker, to listen to all the tones and tricks that he managed to get out of that setup as well. So in terms of setup straight out of the box, I mean, this thing, it just plays itself in terms of setup. The action is nice and low. As I mentioned, you've got the compound radius on the fretboard, so you've got a relatively flat 12-inch radius here anyway, but it just flattens out to 16 as you go up, which means you can get all kinds of Eddie-style tapping all over the place on this thing. I am not a player like Eddie Van Halen, so you won't see me doing all the tapping kind of stuff, but this thing is just built for shredding on. one drawback for me, it might just be the strings that they've put on it, but you know, I gave these strings a good stretch before I did the video, tuned it in a few times, and I did just notice when I was playing and using the whammy bar, it was going out of tune a little bit, which is a little bit frustrating when it's a Floyd Rose, because obviously you've got to undo all these again to tune it back in. But it's a body mounted, flat mounted tremolo system. It's not floating or anything, so it's not going to be the trem system or anything like that. And you know, with a Floyd Rose, these are locked down, so I'm pretty sure it's just the strings that they've used on it are a bit rubbish. Easily sortable, but just heads up, out of the box, that's what this one's been like for me. So in terms of the difference between this and the standard Stripe series, I mean, the standard Stripe series, when you pick one up, they're awesome guitars that play really well and sound great, but they feel like a brand new guitar. It feels fresh out the box, fresh from the factory, just it feels brand new. Whereas this, with all of the relicing and everything they've done to the neck, it feels like an old second-hand guitar that's been played for years. As soon as you pick it up, it's got all the mojo that was missing from the original Stripe series. It just feels like a completely different guitar that a lot more love and attention has gone into. So personally, I think this is a really cool guitar, and I hope that they continue making them for years to come, because I hope that one day I want to get one for myself just because it's so cool. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you love the Relic look? Do you think they've done a good job of replicating the original Frankenstein guitar? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and other than that, we will see you in the next video. Bye.